got you into law?
So my father's a lawyer, and I've always been wanting to be a lawyer. So I'm one of those people who I think since kindergarten wanted to be a lawyer, except for a very brief time when I toyed with medicine as a night profession. It's been like a natural choice for me because I'm not good at science.
What is his name, if I may?
My dad's name is Kandaswamy. He's a litigating lawyer in the south, in Coimbatore.
Okay.
So that
Litigation as in a Coimbatore, but that's not a high court, so that...
it's a district court.
Oh, okay. So he's a
district
district
court
he's been a
lawyer.
district court
Yeah.
lawyer.
So
What
he-
kind? Criminal, civil?
So he does everything.
Everything
so
is like
civil,
district
criminal,
court.
whatever comes to the district court. So it is not, he's court specific rather than matter specific.
So then again, your exposure to the law, I'm like dealing with that part of your life right now. So your exposure to the law at that time would have been something which is more to do with litigation,
Yes. In fact, when I joined college, and even at the time I was graduating from college, litigation was law to a lot of people. There were very few law firms like Amarchand, and I think at that time there was AZP and Dua, and there were hardly any law firms in the south. In fact, my parents were very keen that I don't go settle far away from home, so it was either Madras or Bangalore were the only choices I had after I graduated. So in Madras there was just one trademark law firm called Deepening, and there were hardly any law firms in Madras. And in Bangalore there was one firm called, I think I forget its name, one small firm. There were no law firms in Bangalore. So the choice was either litigation
And this
or
was around which year?
99. I
99,
graduated
okay.
in 99.
And frankly, the IT boom had also not really happened at that
It
time.
had just about started. So
yeah.
like the Amarchands of the world and AZB they all just 91 they started their transactional practice, so they were just 8 years old in transactional practice, so to speak. So it had not hit all metros yet, and in fact all my internships were with litigation firms, and I was geared up to be a litigation lawyer. And then in 5th year we had these recruitments, these campus recruitments, where I got into some law firms in Bombay and Delhi, and I got into in-house in Bangalore, and my parents were very clear that I just have to stay in Bangalore. So at that time the choice was not made out of any career reasons, but it was just convenience and those kind of considerations.
So then what, you did take up the job with Wipro straight from campus?
Yes, so I joined Wipro straight from campus, and it was in fact a very good experience. I consider my experience in Wipro very valuable because Wipro had grown exponentially. So Wipro was in IT services and IT products, and their in-house legal team was very small for the kind of work they were handling. So I and another classmate of mine joined the company together, and we were simply pushed into the deep end right from day one. So it was pretty exciting because we were just rookie graduates, and we were taking conference calls, negotiating these $1 million software contracts, and pretty much on our own. So they gave us a lot of independence. So that 1.5 years or nearly 2 years of work experience was very good in the sense that whilst my colleagues in law firms were doing research and things like that, I was doing a lot of client facing. We did presentations to Mr. Premji. We used to have all these offsites where we were taught about Six Sigma and customer service and a lot of varied things that you see in a corporate. So I consider it as a good foundation and gives you a lot of confidence. And the ability to think on your feet, the ability to take care of things. So you were not spoon fed ever. So I had a pretty tough boss, and he used to pretty much tell us go and do it, and that's it. So,
But even as in-house counsel, at that time, were there within the legal department, okay, I mean, obviously you said boss, was it a he or a she?
it was a he. He's one Mr. Sundar Rajan. He was my first boss. Yeah.
Okay, so he was general counsel, GC.
So there was within
VP
Wipro
legal.
there were various divisions. So there was one corporate division which did the corporate affairs and stuff like that, and there was this software division, Wipro Technologies. So he was a GC for Wipro Technologies. So which is the software contracts and software products licensing and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah. So I worked under him.
So were there, I mean, like, also were you working with, I mean, were there more women and...
So as I said, my friend and classmate
the
Namrata,
two of you were there.
two of us had joined, and we were the only women in the entire legal department and entire finance department. So it used to be quite funny because the finance and legal used to sit on one floor, and we had, of course, the restroom for women. Restroom was our exclusive club because we were only two women. There were not even any receptionists who were women. So, and when we had the offsites and stuff, it was completely the men and us. So even for them it was difficult. For them, they didn't know what to do with us because most of their activities was drinking when they go on offsites, and we used to be sitting and two young women who were absolutely clueless on what socializing in a corporate setup is. So it was a different experience for them and for us. Yeah.
But did you find the environment safe?
Of course, yeah. Wipro is a very nice, safe place, and there's no such issues. And we had a very good time in the sense that both professionally and also we made some good friends over the years in the Wipro.
So now the kind of exposure that you're saying you got around 15 years ago, okay, in as an in-house counsel. So you probably work with many companies right now as clients, and therefore their in-house counsel also.
Yeah.
So do you think that being in-house counsel also still gives people that much of exposure and responsibilities? And
I would believe so. But in hindsight, I like my job in a law firm much more than in-house. So in Wipro, if I'd continued for more years, I may have got bored because after some time, the routine nature of the work does hit you. So it was all very interesting for 1.5 years maybe, but if I had to continue the same profile for more years, then it may have got a little boring in the sense that there's only this much you can do with a software contract or stuff like that. But what I enjoyed once I came to a law firm is the extent of your variety of work, especially the kind of work I do, which is mergers and acquisitions, general corporate, listed company work, SEBI regulations. So every day you're looking at new laws, every day you're looking at new cases. So your extent of application of mind is far superior, I would say. But I think it depends on the role and depends on the company, and sometimes you create that role. So at that time in Wipro, we were too young to create any roles for ourselves. But I see a lot of general counsels creating fabulous roles for themselves. Taking on much more work than any others do. So it completely depends on the company and the person.